Florida continues. So does the Grapefruit League schedule. The Minnesota Twins at Hammond Stadium hosting the New York Yankees. The Twins hoping to pick up back-to-back wins. The Yankees sending a split squad lineup down here to Fort Myers on a beautiful Sunday afternoon for baseball. And we're very glad you're with us for Twins baseball. Dick Bramer along with Bert Blyleven. The Twins last year really struggled in the middle of their lineup, having a power presence in the middle of the lineup. Now we'll see what we anticipate will be the middle of the Twins lineup this year in today's lineup. And those guys simply need to get it done.
Yeah, you know what, Dick? I think we all know what Joe Mauer can do. 15 home runs a couple years ago. Justin Morneau, when they're healthy, they can hit some home runs. In yesterday's ballgame, Danny Valencia, he's got power. He can hit some home runs. And then the new guy, Josh Willingham, coming over from the Oakland A's, signing a 3-year contract. This guy can supply some power. 29 home runs last year, and most importantly, he drove in 98 runs. That's what the Twins need.
For the most part, what you'll see in the starting lineup today is the starting lineup Ron Gardenhire would like to run out there 120, 130 times during the 2012 season. And Nick Blackburn figures to be a fixture in the middle of the Twins rotation. He'll get the start. And we'll be back with first pitch in just a moment.
Or go to northlandford.com. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Partly cloudy skies, a threat of rain later today, but great weather has been the case here pretty much all winter long. Joe Girardi bringing about half the squad down. The Yankees are playing a split squad game as well up in Tampa.
Yeah, against the Philadelphia Phillies up there. So Joe Girardi is here with some of his coaching staff and some good players in that lineup.
Yeah, pretty much the starting outfield is here. The infielders are up in Tampa, but Gardner, Granderson, Swisher, then Ibanez, Cervelli, Jorge Vasquez, Jason Nix, Brandon Laird, and Ramiro Pena.
And on the mound for the Twins, it'll be Nick Blackburn making his first start of the spring. Now, he did pitch a couple innings in a B game, but Nick Blackburn happy to be out there. Had a little elbow soreness last year, had surgery in September. Says he's raring to go. He wants to pitch 200 innings this year. That's his numbers from last year, 7 and 10. Two pitchers the Twins really need. Scott Baker yesterday, good outing. Nick Blackburn, another guy that really needs to go out there and build up that arm strength to get ready for opening day assignment.
Gardner will lead things off, and then Granderson and Swisher. And Gardner takes strike at the knees. Blackburn with a season interrupted like so many Twins players last year with a nerve problem in his forearm, a compressed nerve that really kept him from pitching without pain.
Well, he said the extension as far as releasing the ball, getting the ball out there. You know, you want to throw that ball with the fingertips of your right hand for Blackburn, and when you get out there and really push that ball toward home plate, that's where you feel it, especially that forearm and underneath that elbow area.
And the prudent thing under those circumstances was to shut him down rather than favoring any type of your forearm, and then pretty soon you got an elbow issue that requires big surgery.
Yeah, Blackburn mainly relies on a good sinking fastball. When he is on, he'll get a lot of ground ball outs like that.
One hopper to Valencia, one down. Northland Ford defense for the Twins, and a change from the original lineup, but nothing serious. Take a look at the Twins in the outfield. Ben Revere was supposed to be in left. Denard Span was supposed to be in center, but he's got a bit of a stiff neck issue, nothing concussion related, so Benson's out there. Josh Willingham in right, and then the infield we hope to see Valencia, Carroll, Casilla, Morneau, and Mauer behind the plate. Northland Ford defense for the Twins this afternoon. Here's Curtis Granderson. You know, the thing that Twins fans may have forgotten about Blackburn is, you know, for a while last year, he was really, really good. He had a great month of May.
Which he always does.
He's always good in May, and then he had some back issues and then the forearm issue, and in a sense his season kind of mirrored the whole roster's season.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Last year's last year, and that's what Nick Blackburn wants to put behind him. He wants to be healthy this year and pitch 200-some innings.
2 ground balls, 2 outs, and 2 very speedy runners are kept off the bases here in the third.
Yeah, Blackburn stating basically, hey, if I can get 200 innings in, I can't sometimes control my wins and losses, but I can control my innings pitched if I'm healthy, and that's what he wants to do. It'd be nice if the Twins go into the season thinking of 5 starters that can go 200 innings. That's what they need to do. Go deeper into the ball game, not put as much pressure on the bullpen. And that way, you know, Perkins, who just signed a 3-year deal, congratulations to Glenn Perkins, can pitch that 8th inning to set up Matt Capps to get the save.
2 gone, and here's Nick Swisher. It really does snowball, doesn't it? If the starters don't go 6, 7 on a regular basis, and then the bullpen, regardless of how good it is, gets overexposed. And nice article in the Minneapolis paper today about Matt Capps and how he was trying to pitch when there were holes in the Twins bullpen, and he ended up hurting himself and never was able to recover from that. Fly ball to center. Swisher's retired, and Blackburn has a quick first inning. games. Twins beat the Pirates up in Bradenton yesterday. 4-5 mark for the Twins on the season. And the Menards batting order for the Twins this afternoon. Ben Revere in the leadoff spot. Jamie Carroll hitting second. Then Mauer and Morneau third and fourth. Willingham fifth. Domet sixth. Valencia, Benson, and Casilla.
And that lineup facing Phil Hughes making his first start of the spring. He did come in relief in another outing, but Phil Hughes, a guy that wants to get back to where he was a couple years ago when he was an all-star with the Yankees, going 18-8. He had a frustrating year. You can see the numbers, a very high ERA. Spent some time on a disabled list, arm fatigue. And the Yankees really need this guy to stay healthy in their rotation. 18-game winner 2 years ago.
Ben Revere in the original lineup was hitting eighth, but with Span being scratched because of neck stiffness, Ben Revere taking over in the leadoff spot where he typically hit last year. And he takes up high 1-1.
You know, this is our third game that we have done, Dick, and I have yet to see Revere, Span, or Casilla try to lay down a bunt. I had a chance to talk to Rod Carew before we came up here about that. Rod's heading home to Southern California tomorrow. His spring training assignment is done, but he said, you know what, I just can't get into these guys to just try to show bunt once in a while, just to bring in that third baseman a little bit more, then you could slap it by him.
Kelly slaps it over the head of the third baseman, and Revere's aboard with a leadoff single.
Just another element, I believe, that in the 162-day schedule, Twins are going to need that. They're going to have to show bunt to do that. They're going to rely on speed.
Here's the Yankee defense. Gardner in left, Granderson in center, Swisher in right. Then an infield of Jorge Vasquez, Ramiro Pena, Jason Nix, and Brandon Laird. Francisco Cervelli behind the plate. So now some speed at first, and Carroll, excellent handler of the bat, will hit second this year for the Twins. And he hacks it foul.
Well, you know, good thing about Jamie Carroll, now he's the oldest player in camp for the Twins, but this guy knows how to play the game. You know, the good hit and run guy, like you mentioned, very good handler of the bat. He's a guy that, you know, a Span or Revere, like right now on base, you can put on a hit and run. You're not afraid to make that runner move because Carroll does such a good job of making contact.
A little fly ball to left. And Gardner comes in for the catch, one down. And that'll bring up Joe Mauer. There's Denard Span, who's been bothered by a stiff neck. And again, he asked me to remind everyone it's not the least bit related to any concussion issues. He's just taken a day or two off from the daily lineup. He expects to be back out in a day or two. And here's Mauer, who hasn't had any physical issues whatsoever. Both he and Justin Morneau were hitting in the same group in batting practice today, and separately I asked where they were this year compared to last year at this time, and they each said essentially the same thing, the difference between night and day.
Well, they're on the field.
They're on the field. You know, one thing that Joe pointed out, and I think we knew it at the time, but we tend to forget, a year ago, as he was recovering from knee surgery, he was having regular injections into his knee. And just those injections itself would disrupt your workout schedule in spring training.
Well, Dick, this is what they need right here. They need to face live pitching to get ready for April 6th. You know, we talked about it in the previous shows we've been able to televise that, you know, the Delman Youngs, the guys last year, everybody was hurt. Kadire missed some time. Justin, you know, Joe, you can't go into a season where they did last year and say, okay, the first week everybody was healthy, Gardy was happy, but then all the injuries came. But I think it all came here to spring training. You can backpedal and say these guys need these at-bats against good quality pitchers like Phil Hughes. It's all about timing for a hitter, and the only way you're going to better your timing is to face a quality pitcher.
Hack to third. And the ball dropped at second base. They're calling him out. Oh, my goodness. From up here, it looked like there was no chance that the second baseman, Nix, had ever had possession of the ball. Ron Gardenhire standing at the top of the dugout. That's a very generous call.
Well, watch this throw right here. Nick's going toward the shortstop side, and it didn't look like he got that ball in his glove at all. It just clanked out. But Ben Revere will be called out at second base on a fielder's choice.
That was not a good call. Here's Morneau. And a breaking ball that shaves the outside corner. Well, Justin summarized it this morning. He said, a year ago he was just now starting to get into games. A week and a half into the game schedule, and here more games than not he's in the lineup, taking a regular workload. And you're right. The lot was made last year coming out of camp. The Twins were the only team without someone on the disabled list, when in reality, in retrospect, there probably should have been a player or two on the DL.
Well, 40% of the payroll for the Twins are in Mauer and Morneau. These guys, 2 MVPs, need to stay healthy for the Twins to be competitive.
Mauer dives back to first. He's the runner at first with 2 away. Two and one to Morneau. Close play. Morneau retired at first base. Strong throw from Jorge Vasquez. Twins get a base hit, leave a runner in the first. Hammond Stadium. The Twins have sold out every game except for some reason the very first game here in Fort Myers.
Yeah, only time the Yankees are going to be down here in Southwest Florida in Fort Myers.
Twins play up in Tampa in about a week and a half. They're on the road again tomorrow. And of course the Yankees have a lot of faithful fans, follow them wherever they go, and that's the case here in Fort Myers as well. Here's Raul Ibanez.
Yeah, Ibanez just signing with the Yankees late. Just signed on February 21st as a free agent. Of course, Ibanez the last 3 years with the Philadelphia Phillies.
The Yankees have designs on Ibanez filling a platoon system in the DH spot. He very likely won't see much action against left-handed pitching, but still considered to be a very good hitter against right-handed pitching.
Yeah, the Yankees ended up trading A.J. Burnett to the Pittsburgh Pirates to kind of free up a little bit of cash, and with that they had the opportunity to sign Ibanez. And then A.J. Burnett ends up getting hit in the eye, has surgery, and he may not be able to pitch until maybe the All-Star break.
Practicing his bunting.
Yeah.
2-2. Ibanez, Cervelli, and Vasquez facing Blackburn, who had a quick 1-2-3 first inning.
Blackburn, good sinking fastball, more of a slider than a curveball he'll throw. It's a fastball right there, left up, and Ibanez swings right through it. Ibanez 39 years old. He has 16 seasons at the major league level with the Mariners, the Royals, the Phillies. Now coming over to the Yankees as a free agent.
Swing and a miss. Blackburn gets a strikeout on a high fastball, 1 down.
Oh, good pitch right there, just overpowering Ibanez. Again, the timing, and watch this pitch. Joe wants it down, but has something extra on it. One thing that the Twins are working on, Rick Anderson along with Nick Blackburn, is to throw more fastballs. Don't rely just on the sinker, but also the movement on the pitching rubber. Instead of working on the first base side, they want Nick to more set up on the middle part where he is right there. And that utilizes your whole shoe into that pitching rubber. Sometimes when you move over toward the first base side, you can see that heel where he has the support of the pitching rubber like a block, and he can push off a little bit more. Sometimes if you work over here on this side, then your heel really doesn't go against that pitching rubber, that solid piece of the pitching rubber on that mound. Right there. See the heel?
Loop to center, and Cervelli's aboard with a 1-out single.
A pretty good pitch right there. Good fastball in, but Cervelli just fought it off and hit it softly into center field. Yankees' first hit of the ball game. Blackburn, one of those pitchers, ball's always moving. We're right there. Had a little dip on it, and Joe Benson gets it back in.
Here's Jorge Vasquez. Alex Rodriguez playing third base up in Tampa today. Vasquez gets a chance to play down here. Down the middle, a strike.
Vasquez, a young minor leaguer, spent most of his career in Mexico. In his third season in the Yankee organization, in their system. But over the 10 minor league seasons between Mexico and the Yankee system, he's hit almost 200 home runs.
Bounce to third. Valencia backpedals. Fires to second. Out. Safe at first. So another close play at second base. This time the Twins get the call. And Valencia took a gamble and won the gamble.
Well, you attack this ball or you play back, and Danny plays back on that. A quick flip over to Casilla, who becomes a first baseman. You can see him come off the bag right there. I like what Casilla did right there. Probably didn't have a chance to get him, but go ahead and throw that ball to first base.
So 2 down, a runner at first, and here's Jason Nix. Once the regular season starts, the Twins will face the Yankees very early and very late. Twins will face the Yankees 4 games in New York in the middle of April, and then they won't face them again until the end of September. Down low, and it's 2-0.
Jason Nix, 29 years old, signed by the Yankees as a minor league free agent. Twins saw a little bit of Nix when he was with the White Sox and the Indians. Pretty good defensive player. It's been hitting at the major league level. That's been a problem for Jason Nix. Just a career .207 hitter. And
Carroll has a go off.
With that, he gets a base hit.
Carroll diving to his left. Looked like the ball hit off the heel of his glove. And it's a base hit for Nix, first and second with 2 away.
Now watch again, location. The ball left up a little bit, and Nix hits the ball sharply, almost like a little knuckleball, and deflected by Carroll.
That'll bring up Brandon Laird, first baseman. Blackburn enjoying a 1-2-3 first. Now pitching from the stretch after a couple of base hits, and he delivers strike 1.
Now Laird, the younger brother of Gerald Laird, major league catcher. Had a little time with the Yankees last year, just 11 ball games, hit only 190, 4 hits and 21 at bats.
Just off the corner, 1-1. Blackburn was a third out of the chute last year in the rotation. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Good slider there. Great location of that pitch. Right over the top. What you want to do is create a good downward plane. Watch Blackburn stay back. And that little cutter down and away. Blackburn and his wife becoming parents for the second time this winter. His baby boy, Easton, born in December.
Carl Pavano's been announced as the opening day starter for the Twins, and then you would imagine Baker and Liriano would follow. Blackburn might slide into the 4th spot in the rotation. Jason Marquis, who pitched a little bit better here the other day after struggling in his first start. 1-2. Chopper to short. Easy play for Carroll. Casilla to the bag to end the inning. Couple of hits, no damage done. 2 men left in the Yankee second. Belongs in the first base coach's box. Jerry had a bit of a health scare a week or so ago and spent some time getting checked out, and everything's fine, and back where he's supposed to be in the first base coach's box.
That's where he belongs, right there.
Josh Willingham leading things off for the Twins in the second inning. Lifted foul and out of play, 1 strike. Willingham signed by the Twins for his power, and we would anticipate him hitting someplace where he's hitting today, 5th. Whether it's a righty or a lefty. Down and away, ball 1.
The Twins would like for him to repeat what he did last year. Career highs in home runs and runs batted in. 29 home runs, 98 RBIs for the Oakland A's.
2-1.
He was just 25 years old, already in his 6th season with the Yankees. Fastball, good fastball. Curveball's his best pitch. He'll mix in a slider and a changeup.
And at some point, the Yankees are going to have to decide whether he is going to be a starter or a reliever. His numbers as a relief pitcher are very, very good, and mediocre at best as a starting pitcher.
Well, again, a couple years ago, he had a chance to start on a regular basis. 29 starts, 18-8, made the All-Star team.
Backing out of play.
Remember, they did that with Chuba Chamberlain.
Right.
They wanted Chamberlain to be in that starting rotation. Finally, he did. It did not work. And now Chamberlain out with the Tommy John surgery. He'll miss all the season, the whole season.
Got an ERA of 1.44 as a reliever and just under 5 as a starting pitcher. Popped straight up in the air. And Cervelli with the catch, one away. Target Field has provided many vivid memories in the first couple seasons, and you can be part of another memorable year this year. Purchase any of the Twins season ticket packages, and not only do you get to see the best baseball in the major leagues, you also receive sweet spot benefits that are second to none in pro sports. Call 800-33-TWINS. Visit twinsbaseball.com to check out the options and learn about the benefits that come along with Twins season tickets. Here's Ryan Doumit, and there's ball one. Doumit, a switch hitter, and we'll continue to reintroduce these newer Twins to you until the season wears along. And he too brought to the Twins because of a history of pop in his bat.
Yeah, switch hitter, good hitter from both sides of the plate. Last year with the Pirates, he had some injuries. Played in only 77 ball games, but hit .303 with 8 home runs.
The hope is, the assumption is, he will be the primary designated hitter. And Doumit would experience that for the first time on a full-time basis, coming over from the National League to the American League.
But the thing about Doumit is he can also play first base. He can catch. So now you have the mixture of maybe giving Mauer a day off, or put Mauer at first, giving Justin a day off to DH. A lot of different things. As long as everybody stays healthy, Gardy can do.
3-1 to Doumit. And he takes ball 4. So the Twins get another base runner, this time with 1 out in the second inning.
Well, first walk by either starter.
There's Mauer and Morneau, and they each want to be in the lineup 140 times this year. And you could imagine a 3-game series where Doumit might DH one game, Morneau might DH another, and Mauer might DH a game. Here's Valencia.
Well, those are options, and that's one thing that Gardy didn't have last year. Didn't have too many options.
Valencia with a pair of extra base hits in the game yesterday, a double and a 3-run home run and a big looping curveball, and strike 1.
That's a good curveball right there by Hughes.
Twins, like a lot of teams, have seen the pitchers be ahead of the hitters at this stage of spring training, and a sign of life yesterday with Valencia picking up a couple of extra base hits. Twins had gone nearly 6 games without an extra base hit.
I think you mentioned it, Dick, in Port Charlotte, the game that we televised there. Danny Valencia changing numbers from number 19, now wearing 22.
This is foul over the Yankee dugout, now to play. Two strikes to the Twins' third baseman.
Danny in his 3rd season with the Twins last year hit .246. He played 154 ball games. Hit 15 home runs, drove in 72. Twins really working on his defense at third base.
Down and in, 1-2. Only wants to be more of a complete ball player. He does not want to be thought of as an offensive player alone. He has worked very hard in adjusting his setup when he's at third base.
I think Danny's going through that stage. He went through a lot of it last year, and he's just growing up at the major league level. Last year, he had a tough time taking criticism from the coaching staff. And, you know, one thing I talked to Danny during the Winter Caravan. He was along with me, and we talked about that a little bit. And he said, you know what, I realized that the criticism that they gave me last year was just trying to make me better. And he kind of learned from that experience. And You know, he's going to get, every player is going to get criticized from your coaching staff. It's what you do with it after they ask you to try to do something different.
2-2 to Valencia.
Like, quit hanging those curveballs, Bert.
Bouncer to short. Out at second and a double play.
Quick turn.
Nice double play. Started by the shortstop Ramiro Pena. The Twins are done in the second. Temperatures in the 60s and tack on about 20 degrees here, and that's the way it's been really since January here.
Yeah, it really has. You've had a couple cool fronts come through, but only overnight or a couple days of it. But other than that, it's been weather like this. Wind a little bit, you know, heavy for this time of the year.
There's Rod Carew, who, as you said, is done with his spring training duties after today. Would imagine to see Rod at Target Field for the Twins home opener, which is April of the 9th rather, against the Angels.
Well, yeah, but before that in Baltimore, maybe he'll come to Baltimore and celebrate my birthday with me on opening day, 26 days away.
I suppose there's a chance of that, but I'm expecting to see him more on April 9th than on April 6th. Here is Ramiro Pena to center, and Benson retreats. Now this will be birthday number
61.
Okay.
And you had one, what, March 1st?
Yeah, March 1st.
Happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you. I just want to remind everybody that I, A, have a birthday, and B, you are significantly older than I am.
That's okay.
28. The number has been retired by the Twins. And in case you missed it, during the offseason, actually during the Diamond Awards, the announcement was made that there will be another retired number joining the Twins ranks of retired numbers, that of number 10, Tom Kelly.
Yeah, I saw TK the other day and congratulated him on that. And he didn't break down and cry like he did, but very, very appreciative of what the Twins are going to do. Retire number 10.
Here's Brett Gardner, bounced out to Valencia, chopped one hopper to the Twins third baseman to start the ball game. And Blackburn misses 1-1.
Gardner, a guy that you want to keep off the bases, led the American League in stolen bases last year with 49. Hit .259 in 159 ball games.
And a fastball, a strike. 1-2. Yankees with a pair of singles to center field in the second inning. Other than that, Blackburn's been perfect.
Ooh, watch out.
off the screen of the Twins dugout. I hope. Brian Dinkelman had to bail on that one.
Terry Castellano to his left.
And Rene Tassoni had a bat to his right. 1-2 to Gardner. Inside, it hit him. So Gardner will reach with Blackburn hitting him in the leg.
Well, watch Mauer set up. He sets up a little inside, and Blackburn gets that ball in. Looked like it hit off the shin or the knee area of Gardner. Take a better look right here.
Yep.
Yeah, the back leg.
So Gardner, who led the league in stolen bases, as Bert mentioned, is aboard at first. The guy on the batter's back, some people thought would be a league leader in stolen bases, and instead he's the league leader in home runs.
Yeah, 41 home runs, drove in that career high. 119 runs driven in by Curtis Granderson.
Blackburn delivers down and into Granderson. Ball one.
Of course, in New York, you have that short porch down the right field line. Granderson taking, advantage of that. He's kind of a pull hitter down that right field line. Home run park at New Yankee Stadium. That's why Ibanez, I think, even at 39 years old, he'll, create that left-handed swing to hit a lot of home runs, as a lot of the Boston players do with the wall at Fenway Park. You adjust to the ballpark.
And that's something that Twins hitters will need to do at Target Field. It carries the ball, or the ballpark plays very deep to the gaps into center field, and
it's a lot like, to me, Comerica Park.
Drilled to center, and Benson's going to have to try to track it down, but can't. Plays it well off the wall. Gardner's going to be waved in. Casilla with a great scoop and the throw to the plate. He got him. A fine play by Casilla, fielding the ball and throwing a strike to Mauer.
Very nice play by the Minnesota Twins. Overall, Joe Benson realized he couldn't get it. He has to play the ball off the wall. Jamie Carroll right there as a cutoff man has to let Casilla know what's going on. Granderson, one of those guys, when that ball flies off his bat, it pops off the bat. Benson gets it back in, hits his cutoff man, and then a strong throw, a strike to Joe Mauer as he blocks the plate to get Gardner. Nice play all around by the Twins.
And Gardner rounding third, heading home, and at some point maybe flashing back to a couple years ago at Yankee Stadium when Mauer made that incredible tag on Gardner at home plate. Here a much more conventional play and a perfect relay from Benson to Casilla to Mauer. Here's Swisher. Outside a ball.
I'll tell you what, when you're standing out on that mound too, Dick, and what Blackburn watched right there, it pumps you up. It has to pump you up. They just made a great play. They saved me a run right there. Great hustle by Benson. Great throw by Casilla. And a nice block of the plate tag by Mauer.
One and 0. And over for a strike.
Nick Swisher, 31 years old, going to be his 9th major league season. His 4th with the Yankees. He's got pop in his bat, 23 home runs last year.
Up and away, 2-1.
.40 pitches, 27 strikes. Good ratio right there for Blackburn.
Mentions Blackburn's first start. He pitched out of the bullpen several days ago, so he might be reaching the end of his workload. Twins would like to get him through 3 innings with Dunsing warmed up. That's hit a long way to right field. Willingham going back under it for the catch. A little bit of breeze blowing in from right field. That might have helped Nick Blackburn as he gets through the third inning. And the Yankees have been held scoreless. Carsoup.com/baseball. We'll be answering the questions on the air throughout the entire Twins season, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Any questions today?
I've got a bunch of them, but what I've found over the years is that the viewers have better questions than I do.
I'll second that.
Joe Benson, not in the original starting lineup, again was inserted into the lineup and into center field when Denard Span was scratched with a stiff neck, not concussion related. And Benson, who some think is the best Twins defensive outfielder already, even though he hasn't seen much major league action, turned in a good play to start that relay at the top of the third inning.
He sure did. You look for Joe Benson to start in AAA this year after having a very good year last year in New Britain AA. High fastball right there. And Hughes picks up his first strikeout. Looking his third inning. Good high fastball right here from Phil Hughes. And overpowering Benson.
So Benson strikes out, and here's Alexi Casilla. A year ago, Casilla was the starting shortstop. This year he will be, barring some unforeseen developments here in the final weeks of camp, the starting second baseman. And the pitch popped up, heading back in our general direction.
Oh, a nice catch by the fan Wallace. The bad part of that, he has a Yankee hat on.
I was here the other day for a game against the Cardinals, and there were an awful lot of red jerseys and shirts. There's a soft line drive to the first baseman, Laird. That's out number 2. As the Twins prepare for the upcoming season, it's a good time for you to prepare for a group outing at Target Field this year. The options are plentiful for groups this season, from reserve seats to single game event suites. Call 833-TWINS. Visit twinsbaseball.com. Check out the options. Learn about the benefits that group organizers will receive in 2012. Here's Ben Revere. Lined a single to left to start the ball game. The only hit for the Twins so far today. Strike one. Dribbler to short. And Revere thrown out. Hughes has a 1-2-3 third inning. Several days ago, his father-in-law, Ira Kissling, passed away. And the services for Ira, who was a great Twins fan, as you might imagine, will be in Wichita next weekend. Gardy will be here for a few more days, and then he'll leave the team for a while. So our sympathies or thoughts certainly going to the Kissling and Gardenhire families.
Sure do.
Raul Ibanez will lead things off against Nick Blackburn. Actually, it's against Brian Dunsing, who's in now for Nick Blackburn.
Yeah, Brian, good 3 innings for Nick Blackburn. 3 hits allowed, no runs, a walk with a strikeout. Now Brian Dunsing will ask to pitch an inning or 2 here. Dunsing making his 3rd A-game appearance. So far, so good for Brian.
2 hopper. And Morneau makes the play, goes to the bag to beat Ibanez, 1 away. Well, you look at Blackburn's outing, and it was a good outing. You hold the Yankees scoreless, that's good, but you could see over the course of his 3 innings maybe the effects of Blackburn making his first start. The first inning was better than the second inning was better than the third in terms of getting the ball up.
Yeah, I mean, this is what spring training's all about. Build your arm up. You see the numbers right there. Brian Dunsing last year made 28 starts in 32 game appearances, 9 wins, 14 losses, high ERA for Brian, and he's back in that bullpen. This will be his kind of spot after a starter. So I lick the glove of Danny Valencia.
And Cervelli, who singled in the second, now gets a double, just a chopper, and with Valencia playing well off the line at third, looked like that ball bounced right over the bag.
Yeah, very close call right there. See Cervelli way out front, and the ball, Danny going to it, and just goes over the bag. Take a look right here. Did it hit the bag? No, just in front on the line. And even though that ball lands maybe in foul territory, if it goes over the bag, it's a fair ball.
Once it's been grounded in fair territory. Right. Here is Jorge Vasquez. See, sneaks in at second. Cervelli leans back a bit. Now the pitch lifted foul and out of play.
I was talking about Dunsing, that this will probably be his role after a starter. Maybe, has a 5 or 6 inning type of outing. Dunsing, his arm is pretty resilient, so they feel that this might be a good spot for Dunsing as far as being the 6th, 7th, 8th inning type of setup man.
Bounce to third. Valencia gets the second hop, looks the runner back, and fires across. Well, we talked in the bottom of the third, I think it was, or maybe the bottom of the second, about Phil Hughes and the Yankees need to decide, bullpen or starter. The Twins have made that decision, at least for the time being, with Brian Dunsing. Nick Blackburn joining us on headset down by the Twins dugout. Nick, how would you assess your 3 innings of work here today?
Not too bad. It was a little bit ugly. There's a couple things I need to go work on, but for the most part, I guess I'll take it.
Hey, Nick, I noticed that they moved you a little bit more toward the center part of the pitching rubber. Is there a reason for that? The heel now, fully on the pitching rubber?
Yeah, that was something as soon as I started throwing this offseason. I'd kind of been kicking around last year, but didn't want to really make any adjustments that big during the season. So it was something once I started throwing, kind of wanted to work on, and I talked to Andy, and he thought it would be a good idea also to help create a little bit more deception in those righties and also give it a little bit different look on the lefties. So.
Hey, how about your defense on that play that Granderson hit, the great relay to Casilla and then to Mauer? As a pitcher, I said up here, boy, that pumps you up.
Yeah, that was impressive. I mean, I'd like to be able to throw a ball as hard as either one of those guys did.
Everything okay with your arm? I know, this is just a stretch out period, but you got to be happy going through, throwing almost 50 pitches.
Yeah, everything felt fine. Everything was healthy. It's just, get a little bit more adrenaline in a game like this, and you have to battle a little bit more, but everything feels good.
Well, good. Keep it up, man.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thanks to Nick Blackburn, and Brian Dunsing pitches around a 1-out double.
Baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. By Sanford Health. And by Window Concepts of Minnesota. Beautiful day for baseball here, and the Twins checking them off the list here in terms of games. Checking them off, getting ready for the 2012 season, which will open on April 6th in Baltimore.
Good job by Yankees starter Phil Hughes and Nick Blackburn. Both pitched 3 shutout innings. And Adam Warren coming out of the bullpen wearing number 86, 24-year-old. Out of the Yankee minor league system, signed with the Yankees back in 2009 out of the University of North Carolina. Yet to have any major league experience. Scouting report on Warren. Fastball in the low 90s. Big, slow curveball, a little cut slider. And a very good changeup. So keep an eye on him.
And he'll face Jamie Carroll, Joe Mauer, and Justin Morneau in the Twins' 4th inning. No score here. The Twins' leadoff man got a base hit. That's Ben Revere. That's the only hit so far for the Twins, and that's been the story of the spring for the Twins. They just have not generated much offense. Big 3-run home run yesterday for Danny Valencia, allowing the Twins to win a ball game.
Well, we talked a little bit about Target Field. You brought that up, and I said it's a lot to me. It reminds me a lot of Comerica Park. You know, it's a home run ballpark if you can pull it down the line, but you know it's a gap type, doubles, triples type of field. Target Field is, and same as Comerica Park.
1 strike to Carroll. Hit a fly ball to left his first time up.
Comerica Park, home for the Detroit Tigers.
While the Twins haven't hit many home runs there in the first 2 years, the other teams have. So it's entirely possible to hit home runs at Target Field, but you do need to play to its dimensions. And a strike, 1 and 2.
That looked like the cut slider right there from Warren.
Able to make the catch on the fly. 1 down. So 1 down here in the 4th. Don't miss part 2 of Spotlight. Joe Mauer, All Access. He hits the road with the Twins Caravan. Goes behind the scenes on the set of his new commercial. Spotlight, Joe Mauer, All Access on Thursday after the WCHA Final 5, only on Fox Sports North. One down in the 4th. Here's Mauer, who bounced into a fielder's choice. Swing and a miss, 1 strike. Called strike, 0-2.
Yeah, there's that good changeup right there. Started fastball in. Joe swung through it, and then the off-speed pitch. Good spot, down and away. Mauer in the hole, but you know this is a guy that can flat out hit. Sometimes he's kind of the Wade Boggs, Tony Gwynn type of hitter that he doesn't care what the count is. He doesn't care he's 0-2, now 1-2.
One and 2. You know, the focus for the Twins offensively is to obviously produce more runs. They didn't score many runs last year, and the hope is based not on real lofty expectations, just players doing what they've proven they are capable of doing, which in Mauer's case is, you know, hitting in the high 300s, contending for a batting championship. He's already won 3.
But to me, Dick, you know what? I look, okay, maybe they're not going to score a lot of runs, but you have to do 2 things for sure. You have to pitch better. Starting staff has to go deeper into ball games, and then you have to have good defense. Those 2 things, you have to win the 2-1, 1-0, 3-2 games. Twins may find themselves in a lot of those type ball games, but you win by pitching and defense. Yeah, it's going to be nice if they could score 5, 6, 7 runs a ball game. But not too many clubs do that. You have to win the close ball games to get to postseason.
But as you look at the Twins lineup, when we talked about it before the game, the original lineup that had Span leading off, well, as we said the other day, you can make the case he's the best leadoff guy in the division. Then you've got Carroll, who's proven to be a late bloomer, but a prototypical number 2 hitter. There's a liner hit to the shortstop and out number 2.
See, even that at bat right there, good at bat for Joe Mauer. He fell behind 0-2, got the count to 3-2, got a pitch, hit it sharply, but right at the shortstop. Good at bat.
2 down, and that'll bring up Morneau.
Good solid swing right there by Joe, but that shortstop's been standing right there about 150 years. He hit it sharply.
Here's Morneau, who hit a ground ball to third his first time up. Specifically now in Morneau's case, the Twins are crossing their fingers figuratively, hoping that Morneau can return to what he proved he was before the concussion. That is a guy that can be counted on to hit about 30 home runs and drive in over 100 runs. You're not asking for a career year from him. You just want him to get back to what he once was. And we'll have to wait and see whether that's going to happen.
And believe me, Justin wants to get back there too, as Joe Mauer does, as Denard Span wants to get out there and play on a regular basis and help this organization hopefully win again.
3-0 to Morneau. We'll see what he gets and what he does with it here. Takes ball 4, and that'll get Willingham to the plate. Tickets to see the Cubs, Phillies, and Brewers are going to be hard to come by this summer. But you can avoid that problem joining the Twins season ticket family. Full season, 20-game and 40-game packages are still out there. Different options to suit your schedule. Call 800-33-TWINS. Visit twinsbaseball.com and get to learn more about the great benefits of being a Twins season ticket holder. Here's Josh Willingham. And a strike.
Good fastball there by Warren. Good location. Cervelli now sitting inside. Now throw to first. Sometimes catchers will put that on right away. Go ahead and throw over to first, and I'll move in case, once that hitter steps out after the throw to first, they'll see Cervelli sitting inside. Now let's see if he goes back in again, Cervelli, or if he goes away. Middle in again.
And he missed in, 1-1.
And that's what you want to do as a pitcher. If your catcher's sitting inside, you want to miss. If you miss, you miss inside. And if he sits away, if you miss away. Too many times you want to throw that ball away, it ends up over the plate, and then you end up getting hurt. That's how you try to make that 17-inch plate become a 23-inch plate, by hitting your spots just like that.
1-2.
Cervelli now sitting even further away.
Just missed the corner.
Nasty pitch. Slider.
Wow. That was a good enough pitch to be a called third strike, wasn't it?
Jeff Kellogg, I believe, is behind home plate.
2-2 to Willingham. Wow, that hit him. So he missed on a very close pitch. Willingham ends up being hit by a pitch, and Morneau trots to second, and Doumit will have a chance with 2 men aboard.
Well, they tried to come in again and ends up hitting Willingham, so he'll take first base.
Doumit drew a walk in the second inning. All those years with the Pirates. And Doumit saying the other day it was time for a change of scenery. Pirates, the hope is, will have bottomed out, starting to regain.
They've said that before in Pittsburgh many times.
But in Doumit's case, he wants to be part of a revival, if you can call it that, in the Twins organization. One strike.
To 7 seasons he spent in Pittsburgh, 2005 to last year. can be frustrating when you're on a ball club like that just doesn't want to, say, get to the next level. Pirates started off well last year, but then they faltered.
1-1. Chop to the right side. Nix with the play. The Twins strand a couple in the fourth. Still no score here in Fort Myers. Where the boys of summer spend their spring, right here, the beautiful area in the Fort Myers Sanibel Captiva Beach area, unspoiled island sanctuary. You can enjoy an atmosphere. It's a little quieter, a little less hurried, and a lot less like the rest of the world. Visit FortMyersSanibel.com. One of many reasons you winter down here and have for quite some time.
I've been very fortunate. My wife Gail grew up here, so we moved here. Matt Capps coming into the ball game in relief of Brian Dunsing. One very good shutout inning from Matt Capps. He's making his fourth appearance.
Jamie Carroll firing across, and a quick first out here for Matt Capps. And we're happy to have Nancy McPhee from the Lee County Visitor and Convention Bureau.
Come on, Nancy, step up here.
To talk a little bit about what goes on here and why this is such a popular tourist destination outside the month of March. We all know about March, but this is a pretty popular place year-round, isn't it?
Absolutely. As soon as baseball season over, fishing season begins, tarpon season. Lots of fishing tournaments coming up in May and June, and you can check out the schedule on our website, FortMyers-Sanibel.com.
Now, Nancy, you mentioned the tarpon tournaments. Where are they held? Are they held over here by towards Sanibel or up by the Peace River? Where are they?
Most of them are near Sanibel. There's one on starts on Fort Myers Beach, but it's benefiting Ding Darling Wildlife Refuge, and that's in the beginning of May. And they do fish the Gulf and Back Bay waters. Boca Grande is reviving their world's richest tournament in mid-May, and that is primarily in Boca Grande Pass. Boca Grande Pass is known for having very productive tarpon beds.
You know, my family and I, we went up through Sanibel, up to Captiva, through the Ding Darling area, and it was remarkable. How long ago was the hurricane that swept through there and did so much damage? And I guess the point is, it's recovered so quickly from that.
Absolutely. It was 2004, Hurricane Charlie, yep. And you never not see something when you're back in the Back Bay. Manatee, osprey, eagle, you name it, dolphin, you will see something when you're back there.
Okay, Nancy, they gave us some questions to ask you. I got to ask you, do you have any beer, wine, or food?
Of course. course. We have lots of
festivals. Do you have any festivals? I know you might have some beer with you.
Yeah, that's why I come to Hammond Stadium to see the Twins, to drink beer. But we have many different types of tastings. Our summer season is also our tropical fruit season. We're harvesting lots, so we do lots with tastings, pairing with wine, pairing with beer. We're kicking off a food promotion for the month of June, Restaurant Week in Lee County, so there'll be lots and lots of specials, of course, seafood related as well as tropical fruit.
Very nice. Now it gets hot here from June to September, October. What do you try to do to keep the tourists down here if they come down for the summertime?
Well, of course, our beaches are probably behind baseball, our main draw, and we have beautiful, safe, shallow Gulf waters for everybody to play in. And we have a couple water parks in the area, and of course, the Miracle are here in the summer. So there is lots and lots to do.
2-1 to Brent Gardner. Gardner hit by a pitch his last time up, was thrown out at the plate. The only serious threat of a run being scored so far here.
Nancy, if we missed anything, you want to say anything before you leave here?
I don't
after
think so.
Gardner makes an out right here?
There's lots going on. There's art walks and music walks in addition to our tournaments. So just check it out at fortmyers-sanibel.com and come visit.
3-1 to Brent Gardner. Bases empty, 2 gone here in the top of the...
I got to ask you something on the personal side. I understand your car broke down.
Yes, it did, but I made it here.
Made it here.
Yes, I did.
What happened?
Well, I don't know. I can't. When I hit the brake, it dies. So as long as it's getting gas, it's going. I don't know what's going on. I'll have to go fix that.
Well, your doohickey probably doesn't work.
You know all about that doohickey, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of car do you have?
It's a Suzuki.
A Suzuki.
It's 10 years old, though.
Oh, it's 10 years old?
Yeah.
Now, when you put on the brake, you touch the brakes, it dies?
I'm sorry, when I go to accelerate, I can give it gas.
It sounds like your accelerator.
Right, okay. So
yeah.
That might be
You do have gas in there, right?
Yes, I do.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it might be cheap.
Sometimes, a 10-year-old car, the gas gauge might
Maybe it's not good gas. I don't know. I paid a lot for it, though.
As we all do.
Granderson, the hitter, with a runner aboard and 2 down. Matt Capps on the mound. Teams typically have done this over the last few years, bringing their closer into the middle innings. And there isn't anything Matt Capps needs to prepare himself for mentally at the very end of the game. Let him get his work in here.
The biggest thing for Matt Capps is basically work out front. We talked a little bit about Nick Blackburn, about when he can create that downward plane. Matt Capps isn't going to overpower you, but he has to hit his spots like that right there. Work both sides of the plate.
Capps re-signing with the Twins as their closer. Joe Nathan getting a 2-year deal from the Texas Rangers. And a nice article by Joe Christensen in the Minneapolis paper today about Capps.
It's about time he wrote a good article.
Capps really wanted to re-sign with the Twins. Didn't think he'd have that opportunity after the struggles of a year ago. But once the Twins expressed some interest, Capps really wanted to come back to show the fans the type of pitcher he can be, not the type of pitcher he was last year.
Exactly. And, Matt Capps, he's on a mission, and that's a good thing. Quick trip to the mound by catcher Joe Mauer. Okay, Nancy, one more thing. How did you get here then if your car doesn't work?
The county was happy to offer me a car.
Oh, very good.
Yes, it was important.
Very nice, Lee County. Nice going. Now, how are you getting back, or did they leave already?
No, I've
back.
still got that car. I may take it home.
Oh.
1-1 to Granderson.
That's what I would do. I would keep that car and then give him your old car.
Sounds like a good deal.
Talking with Nancy McPhee from the Lee County Visitor and Convention Bureau about the attraction of coming to this area outside the month of March. I know in March it seems like more and more Minnesotans come here. Gardner takes off. Mauer's throw right on the bag, and he's safe. First slide by Gardner, and Carroll doesn't agree.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great throw by Joe Mauer. A good tag by Carroll. And for some reason, Gardner is called safe. Look at the jump he got right there. So look at the strong throw right on the mark. And did he get his hand on the bag?
Yeah, it looked like he might have. Looked like he might have.
Well, a guy that stole 49 bases last year gets into scoring position with 2 outs. Brett Gardner.
1-2 to the batter, Granderson. And now 2-2. one thing that has been proven here this week or so with Mauer playing behind the plate. His throwing has been outstanding. He's thrown out a couple of runners. He could very easily have thrown out Gardner on that play, but his mechanics behind the plate are so much more solid than they were a year ago when he played, I think, a total of 9 games. And Capps comes back to strike out Granderson and strand Gardner at second base.
Nancy,
scoreless
thank you.
through 4.5 here in Fort Myers. Revere, who is in for Denard Span, and he is the subject of our Sanford Health Injury Report. Span missed a significant amount of time last year because of concussion-related symptoms, but he has played and has done well on the field. He is out today because of a little stiff neck. It's not related at all to his issues a year ago.
Yeah, that's the most important thing right now is how he's feeling, and even though the stiff neck might keep him out today and maybe tomorrow, but Span, hopefully he'll be ready by opening day.
Strike one, a breaking pitch to Danny Valencia. It'll be the bottom third of the Twins lineup. Valencia, Benson, and Casilla.
Adam Warren starting his second inning of relief.
Just off the plate, 1-1.
Warren last inning walked the batter, hit a batter, but able to get out of the inning. And he hitting into the double play, that coming off of Phil Hughes, that ended the second inning.
Busted bat and a fly to right. Swisher out there, 1 down. So Valencia retired, and that'll bring up Joe Benson. What the Twins saw from Benson in September last year and what they've seen from him again this spring is a very high number of strikeouts. You mentioned it's the assumption, I think, that Benson will start the year at AAA, maybe even AA, but very likely it'll be his seasonal start at Rochester, and he drives one to left field.
See ya.
And Joe Benson puts the Twins in front.
Well, he hit 16 home runs last year. He has some pop in his bat, and you leave a fastball up, and Benson came to that at bat ready to swing. Guys strike out a lot when they hit home runs, and Benson caught up to that one.
You could see his frustration after strike 3 in his third at bat. He went down swinging at a high fastball, and he caught up with this one. Almost looked like the same pitch in the same spot, and he tagged the second one. So 1-0 Twins, and here's Casilla. Strike one. Talked to Benson this morning, and he said his camp's gone okay, but he wished he had done more to this point. The Twins will be making some cutbacks here over the course of this next week and sending some guys over to the minor league camp. Benson, of course, wants to stay on this side of the parking lot as long as he can. Chopped up the middle, and that'll bleed into center field. So Casilla has a base hit with 1 out in the 5th. And now Ben Revere will hit. Revere lined a single to left to start the ball game and then bounced to short. Even though Span was in the lineup, was taken out of the lineup, Revere was scheduled to be in left field all game long. From the very beginning. There's a number back to the mound, and 1 is all they'll get. Force play at second base for out number 2.
Oh, nice play by Warren right there. You're hoping that your catcher tells you where to throw the ball. He has 2 choices, second or get the out at first. But the ball hit right off the end of the bat. Warren getting over there, and then you know your shortstop's going to be there. You just throw it over the bag, which he's able to do to get the force out. So a nice defensive play by Adam Warren.
And Revere at first with 2 down, and here's Jamie Carroll. If the Twins are healthy, most of the positions are set, and Revere dives back. The exception to that is left field. The Twins have a decision to make out there, whether it would be Revere or Trevor Plouffe or maybe someone else out there. But Denard Span's going to be in center. Josh Willingham's going to be in right. That kicks away from Cervelli, and Revere will go to second. And the infield, given health, is pretty set. So it'll be interesting to watch here in the days and weeks ahead who plays in left field and how well they do.
I think the only negative that Ben Revere has is his throwing arm. I believe he can hit at this major league level. He's not going to hit for power. He's going to get on, create some havoc on the base paths for the opposing pitcher and catcher.
Trevor Plouffe has power, but he's very green in the outfield. He's trying to make the conversion from the infield to the outfield. And it's tough to do that at the big league level. See if the Twins can turn Revere around from second base on a base hit from Carroll. Breaking ball low, 2-1.
Now outfield playing very shallow for Jamie Carroll. Granderson, Swisher in right, Granderson in center. Brett Gardner in left.
A called strike evens the count. Carroll with a fly to left. And a soft line drive back to the mound. Bounce to the right side. Nix with the play. And the Twins leave Revere at second base. But Joe Benson, the first pitch he saw in the 5th inning, put the Twins in front. Twins on this beautiful spring afternoon in Fort Myers, leading 1-0 behind a Joe Benson home run. Another sellout crowd here at Hammond Stadium. And as we go to the 6th inning, Nick Swisher will lead things off against Aaron Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson coming in relief. Good job so far by Blackburn, Dunsing, and Capps. Aaron Thompson making an appearance. Pitched a little bit with the Pirates last year, coming over to the Twin organization.
First pitch lifted foul into the seats, 1 strike.
Signed as a free agent over the winter. Thompson originally the #1 pick for the Florida Marlins back in 2005 out of Houston, Texas area. 25 years old, 6'3".
Just off the plate, 1-1. Twins hoping to restore the bullpen effectiveness. It's been a hallmark of this team for a lot of years. This one deep down the left field line. And Revere can't make the play off the warning track and the wall. And Swisher starts the inning with a double. So Revere tried to hustle to the corner and had the ball sail just out of his reach for a leadoff double.
Yeah, almost like Swisher was aiming for the target sign right there, because that's what Ben Revere ran into. Swisher turning on a pitch right here. Again, I mentioned earlier, power from both sides of the plate for Nick Swisher, a switch hitter. Revere hitting the target sign and getting the ball back in. So a leadoff double for Nick Swisher. Yankees get their 5th hit of the ball game. 3 doubles for the Yankees.
Swisher leaves the ball game for a pinch runner with Ibanez at the plate. Up and in, ball 1. Mentioned at the outset, Ibanez, it's a thought would be a platoon player for the Yankees, and now first Dunsing and now Thompson. He gets back-to-back at bats against a left-handed pitcher. Missing the inside corner.
I remember Ibanez when he first came up with the Seattle Mariners, kind of a part-time player, then went to Kansas City and got to play every day for 3 seasons. Put up some really good numbers, went back to Seattle, and then with the Phillies, made his first All-Star team back in 2009 with the Phillies. A career .280 hitter with some pop, 252 career home runs.
Pop foul and out of play, and he fits the Yankee mold. He's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. And, the Yankees have excelled at that over the years, bringing in a Ruben Sierra toward the end of his career, a veteran who is used to being an everyday player and now really a bit player for the Yankees.
Yeah, you look at the Yankees last year. I mean, almost of every one of their starters played in 145 games and more. They didn't have a lot of injuries. Alex Rodriguez is about the only one that missed some time. You have to stay healthy, and that's what the Yankees have been able to do. And they go out and get guys like Ibanez at even 39 years old. He played in 144 ball games last year for the Phillies. Hit 20 home runs, drove in 84 runs. It's a lineup like the Phillies that just complement each other. It just gets deeper and deeper, 1 through 9. Very tough to face.
And now Willingham retreats on Ibanez's fly ball, fighting the sun, making the catch. And the pinch runner, Krumel, goes to third base, 1 away. And that'll bring up Cervelli. Cervelli on the day, a single and a double. Hey, former Twin Butch Weiniger serving as the Yankee hitting coach today. He is their AAA hitting coach, but as we said, the Yankees with a split squad, sending some members of their coaching staff and promoting some others from their AAA roster. And Butch, of course, with the Twins in the 70s into the early 80s, and was traded to the Yankees in 1982.
Yeah, Kevin Long, the hitting coach for the Yankees, but with the split squad, like you mentioned, Butch here to help out.
Twins had the infield in with 1 out. The pitch chopped through the hole. A base hit. Cervelli has his 3rd hit. And a game-tying hit here in the 6th. So the Yankee fans here, and there are a lot of them, have seen Cervelli get his third hit of the ballgame.
Well, Russell Martin, the starter, he'll be the starting day catcher for the Yankees, but it's a good backup right here. Cervelli missed some time last year due to injuries, but a couple years ago he was a big part of that Yankee offense. Very good receiver.
And Jorge Posada, who hadn't done much catching the last couple of years anyway, officially announcing his retirement. Here's Vasquez.
Pretty good move right there by Thompson. Cervelli almost caught sleeping.
Vasquez 0 for 2, a couple of ground balls, reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Just off the plate, ball one. Driven into the corner, foul about 8 feet. There's some pretty good swings against Thompson here. Everything, with the exception of Cervelli's game-tying base hits, been hit pretty well. Swisher with a double off the fence. Ibanez with a line drive to deep right. And now Vasquez put good wood on the ball. And a slingshot over to first that nearly picked Cervelli off. Close to a balk.
Yeah, I was going to call balk right there. There's that 45-degree angle that you have to throw either to home plate or to first, and it sure looked like he crossed that.
Busted bat, a little pop-up down the left field line. And Revere with the catch in the corner, out number 2. Well, Thompson took a little bit off and got the ball out on the end of the bat.
I think that's the hardest thing sometimes as a pitcher when you're, leaving some balls up. You try to throw harder rather than, they always say, back up a little bit. Take a deep breath and don't try to throw that fastball that maybe it came in at 90. Don't try to throw it 92. Throw it 96, 97. Just to get back in 86, 87. Get it back into that the good type of rhythm. Good pitch right there.
Here's Jason Nix. Hit hard to right field. Willingham retreating. Tracking it down. He's been busy out there. He's gone back on a number of balls twice in the 6th inning as the Yankees tie the game up. rain. And back home on Friday, Larry DeVito and the grounds crew taking the tarp off the Target Field surface. You know, as a Minnesota resident, we appreciated the mild winter, and we had to save some money on our heating bills. I bet they did at Target Field, too. It was so warm, they really didn't have to use the in-ground heating as much.
Yeah, Larry DeVito, a great groundskeeper. How about George Toma here in Fort Myers, Florida, 83 years old. Still going at it. One of the best.
Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Josh Willingham to face the Yankees here in the 6th inning. Mauer on the day, 0 for 2, hit a line drive to short his last time up. Morneau is 0 for 1 with a walk, and Willingham is 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch. Two strikes. And now a liner to the second baseman. Corbin Joseph is the second baseman. Mauer's out in his second line out of the game.
Well, second straight good at bat for Joe Mauer. Hit the ball sharply, but again, that guy made a nice catch. And Corbin. I believe we have Ben Revere down in the dugout, ready to talk to us. Ben, how you doing?
Fantastic. How you guys doing?
Doing very good, thank you.
Here's Morneau, and he gets a base hit to right.
Nice.
So the middle of the lineup hitting the ball hard here a couple of times. Ben, let's talk about your season so far. And, of course, you broke through in the major leagues primarily as a center fielder last year. And any difference to you whether it's center field or left field this year?
Well, left field's a little bit less room to run down balls a little bit. So, but, you know, I'm just going to go in there, just go in there and just play my game. I played a bunch of games in minor leagues in left field, so no matter what, as long as I can help the team win, I don't care what they put me. I want to be out there help the team.
That ball that Swisher hit last inning, okay, I mean, the difference between center and right, what's the biggest difference? That ball looked like it kept hooking away.
I thought the ball was going to come down, but the wind kept it up, so I was about to, lay out for a second, and then right when I was about to lay out, and then the ball just kept going, so that's why it looked kind of awkward running to the wall a little bit. But
I thought you did a great job of hitting the target right there, the target field. You almost hit the bullseye.
I know, on face planting, but but no, it's type of balls in left field and right field. Of course they're going to curve on you instead of center. But that's why we have practice. I'm going to practice those type of deals and BP and whatever early in the morning so I could get better at it.
We talked with you the other day, and you said, well, in the minor leagues, you played some in the corner outfield position, mainly left field. But, it does change things a little bit, I would think. In center field, you just run and go get the ball. And in left field, you've got the stands on one side of you and the foul line and all that.
Yeah, just like I said, you got so much room to roam around out there. But, it's going to be a little different. But, I'm going to do my best out there. So, I'm playing a bunch of games in minor leagues there, so it won't be no different. As long as we got big man Denard in center field, and me and him can cover some ground. So it's going to be a lot of big help us two being out there at the same time to get some balls going our way.
Hey, Ben, I think we've talked before about you throwing the football, trying to strengthen that shoulder a little bit. What's the biggest thing you're working on here in spring training as far as getting the ball in quicker with some more zip?
Just Garnhire, all the coaches be telling me just hit the cuff, man. That's the main thing. No matter what, just throw it right. Just trying to aim right at their heart, right at their chest. So, but I've been throwing football a lot. Some days I had a day off. I go out to one of these minor league fields and throw it long, trying to throw it as far as I can, just to get my arm strength up. But
now the football is basically for the shoulder, right?
Yeah, pretty much for the shoulder. My brother got me on it. He played center field in college, and he was a starting quarterback for the football team at Georgia Southern. So he got me on and told me to start throwing long toss with it to help my arm strength up, because it helped him out a lot.
Willingham rolls out to short. The pinch runner advancing to second base.
I think it was Tom House with the Rangers that started that football throwing with the pitching staff. And I remember Mike Jeffcoat was a left-handed pitcher. I pitched with him in Cleveland, and when we went in there, I believe I was with the Angels at the time, or Minnesota. I asked Jeff, I said, what's the theory about that football? And he said, you know what, Bert? He said, I can throw a 50-yard spiral with a football, but I can't get anybody out.
I'm probably the same way, to tell you the truth. I'm exactly the same way with
but,
that.
you know, I mean, Tom House is kind of a guru for pitchers, and, you know, that always, I think Nolan Ryan even threw that football around.
Just hear that man throw the football around a little bit, and hopefully it can help me out a little bit because, I just want to go out there and get my arm strength a little bit up so people start making fun.
Well, one thing I've mentioned before, Ben, is that, you know, a lot of times if you're not blessed with the best of arms, are the Twins teaching the shortstop to go out a little bit further to get your relay throw a little quicker?
Well, I've been hearing from some of the coaches, my arm strength got a little bit stronger since throwing that football. So
good.
So some of the cuff man a little back than they usually are.
Well,
so
very good.
Yeah, sometimes I look up, they're like way back. I'm like, huh. Okay.
Breaking that glove.
Always.
Your dad's got to love just the fact that you're picking up a football because he's a football coach.
Yeah, no, it's just I always went to his college football field in Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky University, and just go from one end zone, throw the football down to the other, just back and forth, just get my arm strength up. So, no, he was down here for a spring break a little bit, and he could tell that my arm strength got a lot stronger. So it's a pretty good sign.
Well, Ben, thank you very much for coming on the air with us. Continued success and. Stay strong, man.
Always. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, thanks to Ben Revere. Ryan Dohmann, the hitter. He's got a hitter's count here, 3-1, with a go-ahead runner at second base.
You know, what a great attitude he has. You know, he reminds me of a young Torrey Hunter or Kirby Puckett. He comes to the ballpark with a smile on his face, and he loves to play the game.
To left field. And the left fielder is Almonte. He makes the catch, and the Twins are done in the sixth. Blackburn with 3 good innings, and the Grand Casino story of the game.
Well, he needed some good defense behind him. Granderson in the second inning hit a ball that Benson relayed to Alexi Casilla, a perfect throw home. That coming in the third inning, and then Joe Benson, a 0-0 ball game, hits his first home run in the spring, made it the Twins a 1-0 lead. But the Yankees came back in the top of the sixth inning to tie it at 1 apiece. Ravelli with 3 hits, driving in the Yankees' only run.
So we're tied at 1. And as we go to the 7th inning, Jeff Manship comes out of the bullpen. Manship has been a starter and a relief pitcher at the big league level. And if he pitches for the Twins this year, they hope it's out of the bullpen. Because if he makes a start, chances are somebody above him got hurt.
Yeah, Manship making his third A appearance. He's given up. He's pitched a couple innings, 2 in the third innings, given up 1 hit and 1 run.
Tapper up the line, foul toward the Yankee dugout. Out of the ball game, and with the headset on down by the Twins dugout, or in the dugout, Jamie Carroll. Jamie, thanks for spending some time with us here on our telecast. And overall, how would you assess the first few weeks of camp here?
I appreciate for you guys having me, since I haven't really contributed at the plate, so I appreciate you still want to have me on.
Hot spring training, Jamie. Don't worry. During the season, we won't even talk to you.
I appreciate that.
Ray Chang with a backhanded play, couldn't get a handle on the ball to deliver a throw. It's a leadoff single. But how have the first few weeks of camp gone for you? You're first with the Twins.
Pretty good. Getting a lot of work in, and happy with the way everything's going. Like to be hitting a little better, but starting to feel comfortable fitting in with everybody, and it's great to get out here and play some games.
Well, I was going to say, you've been with 5 different organizations now, from the Expos to the Rockies to the Indians, last couple of years with the Dodgers, and all of a sudden, at 39, 8 years old, you find yourself in a new organization. It takes a while to feel accustomed, does it not?
Yeah, it does. You kind of coming into a blind situation. Basically, everything is the same, but there are a lot of little things that you want to know ahead of time what you're doing.
A pop up behind second base, and Chang will handle that. Jamie, how do you account for the fact that, if anybody was a late bloomer in the big leagues, it was you? Your best 2 years have been your last 2 years with the Dodgers. How do you account for that?
I don't know. I think over the last few years, I've really gotten a lot of opportunity to play on a consistent basis. So I think, it's kept me in a little bit of a rhythm and a flow, and helped me out, in the day-to-day, instead of maybe playing a couple days and sitting for 5 and bouncing around all over the place. So I think it's more so the consistency, and hopefully I'm getting smarter.
Well, you come to the Twins, and you've been to many spring trainings, Jamie. Is there a period of, you said you're not happy with your swing right now. Is there a period where you almost swing too much, where you just say, okay, let's back off a couple days?
Yeah, I think so. I think you work hard, you're trying to get comfortable, and then when things aren't working a little bit, you get in there and you're like wondering if you've been working hard enough or not, and sometimes you can overdo it a little bit, and I'm hoping that's the case.
Well, I'm sure it is. You've been through the battles many years, and I think the hardest thing, and I know as I got older too, you try so hard, and sometimes you just have to cut back a little. As a pitcher, you throw, and then sometimes your body just tells you, hey, slow down a little bit, and then give yourself a couple days, and then all of a sudden there it is.
Right, I think so. I think if you pull back, especially mentally, I'm a little bit coming over here in a new organization, trying to come out and do more than who I am, instead of just playing my game and doing what I do, and hopefully that's the case. Just trying to press a little bit, trying to get into it faster than normal. As long as it's there within that last week going into opening day, that's what I usually shoot for.
Well, you've been kind of teamed with Alexi Casilla. Casilla right now, finally to be the second baseman on opening day, you the shortstop. How's the communication been between you two?
Good, I think. I finally got 2 ground balls today, and that's as many as I've gotten all spring so far. So it's been tough to get us some work, but certainly we get a real good feel of where he's at, and we're communicating out there, letting each other know where we're positioned, so we can be ready for anything.
We showed that play of Benson to Casilla to Mauer in the 3rd inning that Brett Gardner was thrown out at home plate as a trailer, and I think you were out there too. Are you screaming home, home, home? Are you watching the runner?
Yeah, as a trailer, you're the eyes for the guy in front of you, and nice play.
Got it picked off, and the throw to second takes care of the runner at first. 2 away.
Yeah, so you're trying to let him know his back's turned, trying to get the ball from the outfielder, so you're his eyes, and it was a little high for me, and I knew it was probably going to carry to Alexi, so I let it go through, and Alexi did a good job of relaying it home.
Well, with the runner going right there, and nice throw by Manship, and then the relay throw.
Floriman with the tag. 2 down here in the 7th inning. And Manship ends up facing just 3 men. And we thank Jamie Carroll for taking time out. Continued the success here in the month of March.
Thank you, Jamie.
McDonald's. Quench your thirst. Get any size soft drink or sweet tea for just $1. And by Toyota and your local Toyota dealer. One apiece, bottom of the 7th inning. And Justin Morneau nice enough to put on the headset down in the Twins dugout. Justin, let me ask you what I asked you down in the field during batting practice. How would you compare or contrast where you are this year from where you were on March 11th a year ago?
Well, I don't think it's really comparable at all. I'm so much further ahead. And like I said before when we were talking, I'm not sure if I was even playing at games at this point last spring. Last spring was a little more rushed. Obviously we started a week later this year, so that's going to give me a little more time as well. But it's a lot better, and I'm a lot more encouraged this spring than I was last spring. That's for sure.
Well, Justin, is there a time that I know, as a pitcher, I went through a couple surgeries, and all of a sudden it just, you don't think about it anymore. How are you feeling now as far as your everyday workout routine and everything?
Well, I'm not quite to that point where I'm not thinking about it yet. But I did get to that point last season after I came back after the neck surgery and was feeling pretty good and was just running out there and playing. And unfortunately, it kind of crept up on me again. It came back and had to deal with it for a while. But, I was able to build that confidence and I'm hopeful that feeling is going to come back again. I'll just be able to run out there and play and not have to think about it every time I dive for a ground ball or slide into second or, wondering what if as the play is starting to happen and instead of just going out there, let my instincts take over and just play the game that I enjoy playing.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to dive after balls. You're going to, you're going to slide into second base or third base.
Oh, there we go.
Valencia tags one to left, and the Twins are back in front on a pair of solo home runs. One by Benson, and now one by Valencia.
Well, back-to-back games for Danny Valencia to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Yesterday, a big 3-run home run. And here, a solo home run gives the Twins a 2-1 lead. Nice solid swing right there by Danny Valencia.
And the Twins showing some power. Benson hitting a home run, then Valencia. Justin, have you had plays like that either in games or in drills where you've dove for a ball or fallen awkwardly and you've gotten up saying, that's good because I feel fine and I'm ready to go?
You know what? I haven't had to slide at second yet, and I haven't had a diving play at first yet. I've had a lot of ground balls, but I haven't had to dive yet. So
okay.
It's kind of hard to say, but I'm sure the first time it happens and
Benson with a solid single to left.
Confident everything will be okay. Otherwise, I wouldn't be out here if I didn't feel that was the case. But it's just going through all that stuff and building that confidence again, and knowing that it's been given enough time, and hopefully everything continues to go well. And I'm sure there'll be plays when I dive, and it'll happen, and I won't even think about it just because it's such a quick play when you have to dive for a ball. There's no time to think, I shouldn't be diving right now, or you don't pre-think that in your mind. You just see a ball hit to your right or your left, and you just go for it, and you dive, and you hopefully make the play, and then you get up, and obviously it'll be a while before I don't go through that little checklist of how's everything feel, and how's my head feel, how's all the rest of that going, and it might be a little while before that goes away, and that it might, I don't know, there's no way to tell how long that'll be, but I'm just going to keep going out there and playing, and hopeful that it'll keep continuing to go well.
Hey, Justin, you look at this lineup, close play at first base. You look at the Twins lineup, everybody stays healthy. It's a pretty nice lineup.
It is, and I think the thing that got overlooked a lot last year is how important Denard Span is to this lineup. He's one of the best leadoff hitters in the game. He gets on base. He has great at-bats. I get up in the first inning. There's probably 15 pitches already thrown by that starting pitcher. I know what he's trying to get guys out with that day. I know if he's be able to throw his fastball over, with him and Jamie Carroll, a professional hitter, hitting second, and Mauer, usually sees 5 or 6 pitches every at-bat. By the time I get up there, if it's the first or the second inning, he's had to work a little bit, and I either have guys on base or I'm leading off with a plan of knowing what he's doing, and then I got those guys behind me. Willingham, who's got a lot of pop. You got Domit, you got Valencia, who's looking like he's ready for a breakout year, and just kind of goes from there. We got some speed at the bottom and the top, and it's a very balanced lineup, and I'm excited to see what this lineup can do when it's healthy and when it's out there and it's all together.
1 and 2 to Ray Chang.
We were talking earlier, Dick and I, about the big thing for me, the Twins have to win the 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 ball games. There are going to be games that the offense is going to score 7, 8, hopefully more runs from time to time. But to me, it comes down to good pitching and good defense. And one thing that Gardy really stresses, and I think Jamie Carroll and Alexi Casilla hopefully can be that twosome up the middle to make it strong with Span in center and Joe behind the plate.
Yeah, I mean, you need that up the middle. Defense up the middle, they always say. Catcher, shortstop, second base, center field are as important as anywhere on the diamond. You get offense out of those guys, it's usually a bonus, but they have to make the plays they need to make. And, with a little stability up there, I think those guys getting used to each other, playing every day with each other, and Lexi being comfortable and hopefully staying healthy the whole year. He was hot right before he got hurt, and he was looking like that player that everyone expects him to be. And we know we're going to get from Jamie Carroll a very solid player who's been around, knows how to play the game, knows how to run the bases, can do the little things, and help us win those 2-1 ball games like you talked about, those 1-0 games. Whether it's getting a runner over, butting a guy over. We need to be able to get those guys in from third with less than 2 outs. Just those simple little plays that you need to do and to win ball games.
Runner goes, and it's ball 3, and Benson's thrown out at second base. So Chang has a full count, and Benson thrown out at second. Justin, one final question. Were you surprised at the news you made when you reported to camp and just spoke honestly that, hey, if these concussion symptoms continue, my career is in jeopardy? It seemed like most of what you said that day was positive, but that was the one thing that got splashed on headlines across the country.
Yeah, that was kind of funny to me. I don't know. It's positive news rarely makes news these days. The negativity seems to give people things to talk about. And I was asked a question whether if it continued. I thought it was a pretty easy question to answer. If it continues, obviously I'm not going to be able to play. I didn't think it was that difficult or that bad of an answer. And they asked me about it again a couple days later. I said it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that if I'm still having symptoms, obviously I'm not going to be able to play. And it was just an honest answer to a question that I was asked. And it's one of those things where, for how much love I have for this game and how, I don't know if I want to use the word torturous, but how difficult it is to sit there and not be able to do something you love. It's very difficult to go through every day with continually being let down and being disappointed every time you try to go out there and run around and feel like you can play baseball, that you've been able to ride the bike and do the little tests that you need to do before you can go out there on the field, and to get through those things and then go through baseball activities and not feel good, and to do that over and over and over again, just it'll drive you crazy. It's one of those things that you can't continue to do to yourself. It's just too much for somebody to handle, to continually be let down like that when you're trying to do something that you just enjoy doing. I love hitting a baseball. I love playing the game. I love playing for this organization. I love winning baseball games, and to not be able to go out there and do that and to continually feel like everything's going to be okay and then be let down, and feel like everything's going to be okay and be let down. I've tried to stay as positive as I can through all this, and realize that it's not life or death, but it is something that I love to do, and I'm lucky to be able to do it. It's something that as a kid we all dream of doing, and I'm one of those people that's able to live their dream every day that I get to run out there on the baseball field.
Very well said. Very well said.
That's
Justin.
it.
Well, Justin, we thank you for your time, and we'll just take the fact that you've been in the lineup more often than not as a good omen for a great 2012 from you.
Let's wear that number 33 for many, many years, Justin.
That's the plan. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks to Justin Morneau. 2-2 to Wilkin Ramirez. I think Twins fans are aware of the fact that they probably not had a harder worker over the years than Justin Morneau, and regardless of what your job is, imagine busting your tail time after time, year after year, and simply not being able to go to work, and how frustrating that must be. In Justin's case, 3 years in a row that he's not been able to complete a season because of a variety of injuries.
You know what? There's so many people out there that think negative, and I liked what Justin said. He spoke from his heart right there. You could hear that he spoke from his heart. And very, very well said what Justin told us all.
Ramirez draws a walk, and that'll bring up Pedro Florimon. We've talked a little bit about Florimon, who continues to get playing time here in early to mid-March. We'll see what happens as the Twins cut down the roster. Ultimately, Florimon would need to be able to hit, prove that he can hit to be able to help the Twins, but he is considered to be an outstanding defensive shortstop.
Yeah, Florimon selected off waivers by the Twins from the Oriole organization over the winter. Just 25 years old, a switch hitter.
One strike to the Twins shortstop. You're absolutely right, just 25, but at 25, having been in the minor leagues for a number of years, it's getting to be a critical period in this young man's career.
Yeah, from the Dominican Republic. He signed by the Orioles back in 2004, so he's had enough minor league time. Now can he hit it at the major league level? Had a little taste of it last year with the Orioles. Played in only 4 ball games. Got 8 major league at bats. Got 1 hit. Did drive in a couple runs.
1-2 to Florimon.
Graham Stoneburner, on the mound for the Yankees.
That's nice backhanded play. And Florimon is thrown out. The Twins' third baseman, Danny Valencia, with a solo home run to put the Twins back in front.
Twins. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
It's just March 11th, 3 weeks roughly of spring training left. Are you ready for the regular season? Do you feel like you're ready to open the regular season as a broadcaster?
I am, because it's on my birthday, 26 days away.
But right now, could you broadcast a regular season game?
I hope so.
You've had enough repetitions and enough.
I hope so. I think 17 years of doing this with you has been
more than enough.
More than enough, yeah.
Carlos Gutierrez comes out of the Twins bullpen.
Gutierrez, a guy that the Twins are looking at. If this guy can get that ball over the plate consistently, he's got nasty stuff, making his 3rd appearance here in an A game. Gutierrez, 25 years old. Number 1 pick by the Twins back in 2008 out of the University of Miami. When he's on, good sinking fastball, hard fastball in the low 90s, mid 90s. Very good slider and a changeup.
Melky Mesa is the hitter for the Yankees. Well, you made a mention a couple of times, once with Justin, once earlier. Twins need to find a way to win 2-1 ball games, and now here we are. It's 2-1. And we'll see if Gutierrez can protect the lead. One strike to Mesa. And a deeper foul ball, 2 strikes. Jobs are open in the Twins bullpen. You look at the guys who've come back from last year. Dunsing will be out there. Alex Burnett, who we've not seen yet pitch, but he figures to be a prominent member of the bullpen. Matt Capps will close.
Glenn Perkins.
Right. Pop up behind first and a fly ball to right.
Anthony Swarzak has had a very good spring so far.
Brian Dinkelman's out there with a catch. Dinkelman with a catch for the first out of the 8th inning. And that'll bring up Ray Krummel. Krummel entered as a pinch runner after Swisher doubled in the 6th. Dribbled up the line. It stays in the grass. And Bates, the first baseman, makes the play to the bag. 2 away. You can follow the Twins with MLB.com @Bat12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get spring training scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text @Bat to 31826 or visit twinsbaseball.com for details.
Yeah, Bates did the right thing right there. He charged the ball. The ball wasn't hit that sharply, but you go get it rather than wait back because that ball may have rolled foul. So you attack the ball like he did and get the out at first.
Gary Sanchez hitting for the Yankees. Bates coming in after Morno's last at bat. 1 strike. And so far Gutierrez doing just what you suggested he need to do, and that is throw strike 1, get ahead of the hitters. Up and in, 1-1. Down and away. J.R. Tolles doing the catching now for the Twins. He'll hit in Joe Mauer's spot once we get to the bottom of the inning. Here's the ball line to right. Dinkelman will play it on a hop. And it's a 2-out single here in the 8th.
Well, we showed you the number of Gutierrez right there last year in Rochester. 2 wins, 3 losses, and 43 relief appearances. 62 1/3 innings, 31 walks. That's too many walks.
Especially for a guy you project to being a late in the game relief pitcher, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning relief pitcher. You got to throw it over the plate. Here's Kyle Higashioka. Foul back. Wearing number 89, your first Twins spring training camp. You remember what number you were issued?
You know what? I do not. I do not remember. I'm
Probably
sure it was
wasn't
a high
28.
number.
Wasn't
No,
28.
I don't believe so. No.
82, maybe.
That might have been.
Up and in again with the breaking pitch, and Gutierrez looks back toward the rubber like he might have caught his cleats.
He's just trying to overthrow right there rather than work out front. Sometimes the release point, you let the ball go a little bit too early. Now you make the adjustment. He's done it twice already to right-handed hitters. And all you do is tell yourself to stay back, allow your arm to catch up. Don't fly open so quickly.
And a pop-up near the Yankee dugout. Out of play. The man brought his glove, reached in front, made a nice catch. One and two.
You know, Dick, sometimes it's easier said than done when you're trying to fight for a spot. You go out there and you want to impress, and you know, you just try to overthrow everything, and you really don't let your natural stuff take over because you're too pumped up. There's a good pitch right there. Just missing.
Clocked at 96 here on the scoreboard. What do pitching coaches and managers say? Pitcher's got to trust his stuff, right?
Stay back, stay tall, allow your arm to catch up, create that downward plane. That last pitch had good downward position. Another good one.
Clock at 92. A swing and a miss ends a scoreless 8th inning. Thanks to a pair of home runs, Tyler Mason is spending a couple of weeks in Fort Myers covering the Twins at spring training. Just talked to him briefly this morning here at the ballpark. Read his coverage today and all week long at foxsportsnorth.com. Twins in front 2-1, and an intriguing prospect for the Twins. J.R. Tolles coming into the ball game. He's trying to find a spot on this team as a backup catcher.
Yeah, Tolles came over from the Houston Astro organization, signed as a Twins as a free agent over the winter.
I say intriguing because although he's not hit against big league pitching very effectively, he has hit in the minor leagues successfully. He's a .295 minor league hitter, and in 428 at bats at the big league level, he's hitting sub .200.
Got some pop in his bat, 11 home runs at the major league level. Adam Miller now on the mound for the Yankees.
And a breaking pitch hits the corner. Just off the plate. The Twins are faced with the prospect of carrying 3 catchers. Of course, Joe Mauer, Ryan Domit, who might be a DH but can catch, play first base in the outfield, and then someone else. It's been Drew Butera the last couple of years. And Tolles trying to win a spot on the 25-man roster.
Well, you wonder if they look at that. And the average 187 at the major league level, but he does have some pop. You know, a guy on the bench, if he's going to be a third string catcher, come off the bench, maybe drive a ball here or there.
The advantage he would have over Drew Butera is he has proven to be a productive minor league hitter, and Drew really, even in his minor league stints, was never considered to be an offensive threat. 1-2, and a dribbler foul.
Well, Miller, 27 years old. Indians, Cleveland Indians, #1 pick back in 2003 out of Plano, Texas. He's had a lot of surgeries on that right middle finger, the nerve, and then he also a lot of blisters on that right middle finger.
Hit pretty well to right field. And played well out there. Getting turned around and slamming on the brakes, making the catch, one away. Krummel is the right fielder, and he catches the line drive off the bat of Tolles, one down. And here's Bates. And strike one. Aaron Bates, California native, had a handful of at-bats with the Red Sox 3 years ago.
Had a pretty good year in Rochester last year. Hit .316 in 106 games.
A lot of strikeouts in his minor league ledger. 2-1. Had his birthday yesterday, turned 28. Born in Manhattan, New York. And he lifts one to right field. Krummel comes in now a couple of steps, out number 2. And Brian Dinkelman will hit. Dinkelman 73 at bats and hit over .301 for the Twins. Down and in, ball 1.
Yeah, he's a guy last year, Dick, had 22 hits, only 1 extra base hit. Drove in 4 runs in 23 ball games for the Twins.
He hits it hard into the right field corner, and he's going to have an extra base hit here. Krummel has the ball go under his glove, and Dinkelman will hold up with a double. We mentioned that J.R. Tolles, a good minor league hitter, hasn't done much at the major leagues, and in just a handful of at-bats, Dinkelman's been a much better hitter up here than in the minors.
Yeah, good solid swing right there, pulling that ball down the right field line. So Dinkelman, a 2-out double. Twins get their 7th hit of the ball game.
Luke Hughes taking over the DH spot for the Twins. Will try to add to the Twins' lead.
I think the most important thing, we talked about it in the open, 2 home runs, a double there. 3 of the 7 hits have been extra base hits.
Hughes reported to camp with some shoulder issues. Got into the field the other day, and in the 9th inning, or 8th inning, I should say, fielded a ball behind second base, was playing second base, and threw the ball into the dirt and allowed the winning run to score. He said the shoulder was fine. He just augured the throw, threw it into the dirt, but he says his shoulder is fine now.
That's a 1-0 loss, too, for the Twins. So, you know, not much offense that day. It just came down to the last inning.
Wind was blowing out to left field very hard that day, and I thought there'd be 15 runs scored, and there was 1. 2-0. And now 3-0. Holloman on deck. And a 4-pitch walk fills first base. The Twins trying to add to the lead here with 2 gone in the 8th. Michael Holloman.
Holloman, 29 years old, signed by the Twins a couple years ago. His big league time was with the Tigers in 2008. Played in 11 ball games.
Split time last year between New Britain and Rochester. Ball one. Second trip to the mound this inning. Holloman plays some second base, third and short. So a candidate, one would think, as a utility player. Another guy who was doing that in the minor leagues at Rochester last year, Toby Gardenhire, not in the organization anymore. Toby's playing days are done.
Well, he's married now.
Got married about a month ago. Outside, 2-0. We'll bring out Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach.
I mentioned before, Miller's had some issues with that right finger, that middle finger that is. He's had 2 surgeries on that right middle finger. The right middle finger's never given me a problem.
It's gotten you into trouble, but it's never created any problems, right? Well, the Twins with a 2-out double, follow-up 4-pitch walk, and now it's 2-0 to Holloman.
Yeah, Miller's really just coming back. He missed 2009 and 2010 because of the surgeries. They say at one time he got that fastball in the upper 90s.
Over for a strike. Hughes at first. And Dinkelman at second. Fouled back, 2-2. Beautiful day for baseball. They've had a lot of those here. Twins have been able to get their work in. Actually started camp 3 days earlier this year to fine-tune some things and not taking anything for granted, getting back to the fundamentals and trying to tighten things up. Full count with the runners going. A deep drive to right, and Holloman cranks one out, a 3-run blast. So a 2-out rally for the Twins here in the 8th has produced at least 3 runs.
Well, third home run of the afternoon for the Twins. Joe Benson, Danny Valencia, and now Mike Holloman unloaded on this fastball. And that wind blowing a little bit from right field, that did not hinder this home run right here. Twins take a 4-1 lead, 5-1 lead.
18 home runs for the Twins last year in the minor leagues in 450 at bats. So the pop there, and he showed it off there. My goodness, now a 5-1 lead for the Twins. And here's Darren Mastroianni. Up and away, ball one. Foul back. Well, the Twins have played a lot of games over the Yankees where they were out homered, and in this minor league game, this exhibition game that doesn't count, it's the Twins out homering the Yankees. A little role reversal. 3-0 now to Mastroianni.
Well, again, a split squad for the Yankees. Yankees also playing the Phillies up in Tampa.
I believe we've got the count wrong here. I don't know that Mastroianni would have been swinging away on 3-0. At any rate, a foul ball. And a little pop-up short left center field. Nice diving catch in center, and then No, he caught the ball. It was his glasses that fell onto the grass. Good inning for the Twins with 2 outs, a double, a walk, and a home run by Michael Holloman, making it a 5-1 ball game. Five runs. The Twins have a great home schedule to start the season. Albert Pujols and the Angels open up the home schedule. The 2-time defending American League champion Rangers and the Red Sox all in April. Tickets are available for games against these powers of the American League. Should make for an exciting first month. You can go to twinsbaseball.com, call 833-TWINS to reserve your tickets for April baseball at Green Target Field.
Well, Brendan Wise coming into the ball game to hopefully put another 0 on the board. Good job by all the starters or pitchers here this afternoon.
Talked about Wise the other day during one of our earlier telecasts, how he's intriguing because of his numbers, although he's new to the Twins organization. Got a little bit of a funky delivery. And a rocket right over his cap. And an opening base hit here in the ninth. Ibarra with the base hit, and now Luke Merton will hit for the Yankees.
Watch out, right over the cap.
Wise, an Australian native. He was on the World Baseball Classic roster for Australia in 2009. Down and in, ball one. One of the things that makes him intriguing is he rarely gives up a home run. He went 2 years ago in 2010. He pitched 77 innings for the Tigers minor league AA and AAA team. 77 innings, and he did not give up a home run.
How do you do that?
But just 20 home runs allowed in 424 minor league innings. That's pretty good, and
that's very good.
Suggests that he sinks the ball, keeps the ball down, and regardless of what level you play at, that's always a pretty good idea. Inside, 2-1.
Right, you get a little bit of a slinger right there, kind of throw almost sidearm, 3/4. Will create that good movement in on right-handers like a sinker down and away.
You could see AAA Toledo last year, very good numbers. He was not their closer. He only got one save. Swing and a miss with Merton swinging over the top. 2-2. He would not be the first relief pitcher who succeeded up here after struggling to get to the major leagues, even though he had really good minor league numbers. He is looking for a chance. Bounce left side, might get a double play ball. 1 and 2. Very nicely done after the leadoff single. Wise gets a ground ball double play. 5-4-3.
Well, you know what? You keep staying with that sinker, and that's exactly what he did. Created a ground ball out. Nice turn of the double play by the Twins.
Holloman with the big 3-run home run, now starting a double play.
I see attack that ball right there. Good throw over to second. Quick relay to first. Nice 5-4-3 double play.
2 down in the 9th. And another ground ball. So the Twins beat the Yankees 5-1. Brendan Wise with a quick top of the 9th inning, getting 3 outs on 2 ground balls. And the Twins outslugged the Yankees. Let's hope we say that during the regular season.
Well, Nick Blackburn, 6 relievers, outstanding job here this afternoon. Twins hit 3 home runs, so good day for the Minnesota Twins.
And the Twins with back-to-back wins, evening their grapefruit leg record now at 5-5. And we'll wrap things up from Hammond Stadium after this.